Hi there, and welcome to this 51st live tech Q&A session where I'll be answering some of your tech-related questions. You can ask your questions in the YouTube comments, and I'll take them. And already I can see that quite a few of you are live, and I've got a bunch of questions, so let's just start this. And also, it's a good idea to follow me on Twitter at the rate Geekyranjit. And we do this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. India time. So let's start. And the first question I had was from I am Sumant. He asked us a couple of questions. So the first one is, he asks, is there a huge difference between the Snapdragon 800 and the Snapdragon 801 processor in terms of performance and every other aspect except the battery life? I wouldn't say it's a huge improvement in performance, but where the Snapdragon 801 is better compared to the Snapdragon 800 is in terms of heat output. The Snapdragon 801 produces a lot less heat. Also, though the GPU is the same, the Adreno 330, it is clocked a little bit higher. So in very high-end games, it will have a slight edge. Also, definitely in battery life, I would say the Snapdragon 801 has a huge leap over the Snapdragon 800. So yes, it's an improvement, but it's not a very big improvement. I just generally prefer the Snapdragon 801. In fact, I love the HTC One M8 due to that fact that it had the Snapdragon 801 and it had incredible battery life. The second question he asks us is, which is more powerful? These are mobile processors, by the way. And the second question is again regarding that. Which is more powerful, Exynos 5 octa-core 5422 or the Snapdragon 800? I am Sumant. I did not do a comparison between both these things, but I would definitely say in terms of the heat output, the the Exynos 5422 that we found on the Samsung Galaxy S5, which is an octa-core processor, and in the 5422 HMP is enabled. That means all the 8 cores can be active if required. Ran a lot cooler compared to the Snapdragon 800. And also, I would say in terms of battery life, that Exynos 5422 was much better. But again, Samsung is not using that 5422 in every device. For example, this is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S, and Samsung, though it has the octa-core processor, Samsung used the old one. So definitely the new one that is used in the Galaxy S5 is better. So, but again, one thing I wanted to highlight is that the Snapdragon 800 processor comes with the Adreno 330 GPU. In gaming, I definitely feel that it is actually much better compared to the Exynos, because the Exynos is using the 5422, the Mali 628 GPU. Though the GPU is okay, but the problem is that many of the game developers, I would say 95 of them, are optimizing their games for the Adreno 330 GPU. That comes with the Snapdragon processor. So definitely, if you're high on gaming and you do a lot of gaming and gaming is a high priority, then the Snapdragon variant is better than the Exynos variant. I hope that info helps. So let's move to the next question. This is by VG Shrikant. What are your views on the Mi 4 specs? VG Shrikant, I did not look too much into the Mi 4 specs. Yes, it has the Snapdragon 801 processor. That is the highlighting thing that is we are finding on the latest flagship, and it also has an IR blaster. Again, as of now, I don't have info about the Mi 4, when it is going to launch in India and at what price. So when it does, we'll see, and hopefully I'll be able to buy it, because these Mi devices are just crazy to get. Even just today, that Flipkart had that sale, and I heard that it got sold out in 2-3 seconds. So it's just crazy. So let's move to the next question. Where did it go? Yeah. Again, a question regarding mobile processors. This is by Shubham. And again, has a couple of questions. He says, which heats more, the Snapdragon 800 or the Atom chipset? I did not actually use a heat gun and compare them side by side. This Zenphones have the Atom processor, the new one, and I do feel that yes, these also can get a little bit hot when stressed. For example, doing heavy gaming. But I feel the Snapdragon 800 that was on my Nexus 5 did heat up a little bit more compared to the Atom one. But again, both do get hot when you stress them. Second question he asks is, when are you reviewing the Zenfone 5? The problem, Shubham, with the Zenfone 5 is that if you just go to Flipkart, it's not available. I'm trying to buy it from past 20 days and I'm not able to get it. Yes, I know the 16 GB version is available. That's for almost 14,000. I just wanted to get the 10,000 rupees variant because I do have to buy these devices and I do take a lot of loss sometimes. So I'm looking to buy the Zenfone 5, but again, it's not available. If it is available on Flipkart, do tweet me about it and I'll try to immediately buy it. My Twitter handle is @Geekyranjit. Third question, Moto G or Zenfone 5, not considering the updates. Shubham, as I told you, I haven't tested the Zenfone 5, so I can't specifically compare it with Moto G. But yes, I have this, what is the Zenfone 4? I also had the Zenfone 6. Definitely in raw performance, the Zenfone 4 were faster than the Moto G. And also the camera on the Zenfone is better than the camera on the Moto G. So it looks like even the Zenfone 5 will have similar performance. So considering that, I would say the Zenfone 5 has a slight edge over the Moto G. Let me just move to the next question. This is a Partha, and he asks us about Windows Phone 8.1. He says Windows 8.1 Cyan update is now available for Lumia 1520, 1320, 925, 625. Please show us the updating video on these Windows Phone. It's very easy. It's just OTA update. Just apply that update, reboot your phone for twice. Only thing is with Windows Phone update, it does take a lot of time, so don't panic and make sure your phone is charged at least 80 to 90% before you do that. I won't be making any update video because I don't have any Windows Phone with me. I already did the review for the Lumia 630 with the Windows 8.1. So if you want to know more about the Windows 8.1, you can check out those videos. And the second question, what are your thoughts about Windows Phone smartwatches made by Microsoft? As of now, I can't comment on it. Let them produce it and let's see how it works. So it'll be interesting to see. We already have the, what do you say, Google watches, that is Google Wear. Apple is rumored to come out, so it looks like Microsoft will also do. So interesting here. I just hope that the smart watches pricing comes down, because as of now they are priced a little bit on the higher side. So hoping for the best. And next question is from this is from Uttarkashan. He says, my dad is planning to buy a phone for around rupees 7,000 to 8,000. He says, should he go for the Asus Zenfone 4 or wait for the Xiaomi Redmi 1S? And don't recommend me Moto E, as I already have one in the house. I can't comment on the Xiaomi 1S as of now because I generally do not like to recommend or talk about products unless I have tested, because in my history I've seen some phones that had very good spec, they performed like garbage, and some phones which according to the specs look very mediocre perform very well. So only when Redmi 1S comes out, and if I'm able to buy it, because it's crazy to get this Xiaomi phones in India, I'll try to review it. Zenfone 4 is certainly a very good phone. As I've already done the review for the Zenfone 4, you can check that out for details. The only con is that if you compare it with the Moto E, viewing angles on this Zenfone 4 are not as good as Moto E. It's not bad, but it's not as great as that. Also in battery life, the Moto E has a slight edge over the Zenfone 4. I would say if you're using this with a single SIM, then the Zenfone 4 will suffice, but with dual SIM, battery can be an issue. Let me just move to the next one. This is by Nirvan Agarwal. When will you be making more videos on the LG G3? 8th August is my birthday. Hope to see a new video on that day. Nirvan, my LG G3 is broken. I have to check back when I'll get it. Maybe I'll get it back in 2-3 days. So let's see if I get it back. I'll try to make a video. I already had shot the camera review video earlier before it was broken. So have that. So I might edit that video and post it. It has a good camera. Overall, I would say pretty good camera, but in very low lighting, the camera performance just dips a little bit. But overall, a very nice camera. One thing I noticed with the LG G3 is that, yes, and you might not face it. I moved from the HTC One M8, which I have to say is one of the most fluid Android phone I have used till date, apart from the Nexus 5. And moving from the HTC One M8, I did notice a little bit of lagginess on the LG G3. That's the only gripe I have about the LG G3. Apart from that, it's a very nice phone. I hope that info helps. This is by Monu Sam. It's a computer-related question. He says, "Sir, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. I have one question. Can a laptop having a fourth generation Core i5 processor, 2 gigs of NVIDIA graphic card, and 4 GB RAM can handle gaming well in high settings?" Monu, it depends from game to game. Yes, with this configuration, many of the games should be able to run at high settings, but I doubt it will run at ultra high settings. And I just don't play PC games, so I'm not the right person to ask questions regarding gaming and how it works. So yes, I think so. It should work at high settings, but ultra high settings, I am a little bit doubtful. This is by Yadul Raghav. He says, which phone should I buy, the Sony Xperia M2 or the Galaxy S4 Mini? I want good display and camera. I would say go with the Galaxy S4 Mini. That's a nice phone. Even the Xperia M2 is a nice phone, but it's a little bit big in size. So decide if you want a compact form factor, go for the S4 Mini. Else even the Xperia M2 is nice. I have already done the review for both these devices. You can check out my reviews for more info on these devices. This is by Rajat Kaur. He says, I don't miss even a single one of your video. Thank you. His question, he says, my question is that Xiaomi Mi 3 camera good enough for YouTube videos, or should I go for the standalone point and shoot camera? I don't have a budget for a DSLR. Also, is webcam okay for YouTube videos? I haven't used this to shoot my YouTube videos. I generally don't use my smartphones for YouTube videos unless it's an emergency or I don't have any other camera. I would say you can invest in a point and shoot camera if you're on a tight budget. For example, the Canon IXUS series of cameras, some of them the good ones that can even record video in 1080p. You can now get, these are pretty expensive cameras. Now you can get it on Flipkart just 2 days ago. I looked at it for about 10,000. Look for the model that has 1080p. I would say that is a very good camera if you're on a tight budget. Also, this I'm shooting with a webcam, but again, if you notice my regular videos, those have a lot higher quality. So yes, technically speaking, yes, you can record videos with the webcam also, but again, I don't think that the quality will be as high as compared to a dedicated camera. I hope that info helps. This is by Gaurav Chaudhary, and again he has three small questions. First one, he says, are Powerline repeaters Wi-Fi enable? Powerline repeaters, something like this, I have already reviewed this. This is just an ordinary model that connects via Ethernet. But lately I have seen some models that also have built-in Wi-Fi functionality. So you can check them out. I'm not very sure if they are available in India, but on Amazon.com, the US site, I have seen several models from leading manufacturers, Netgear, TP-Link, etc., that have Powerline Ethernet with Wi-Fi functionality. So you can check that out. Second question, which was your first smartphone? Gaurav, to be very frank, I just don't recall. It must have been that some of the Nokia phones at that time running Symbian. In the early 2000s or something, because Android was not there, even iOS was not there. So some model of that. Don't recall the model, to be frank. The next question is, this is by Ayush Garg. Good evening. I love your videos, he says. My question is, which internet are you using? I mean, what ISP? I'm using DSL broadband, which gives me very, very low speed. So I want your suggestion, some high-speed internet providers. Ayush, the problem with broadband in India is it is not that great, and the choices that you get differ from city to city, and even from locality to locality. Luckily in Hyderabad, we have a very good ISP that is known as Beam Fiber, and these people give internet via fiber optic lines. I have that, and I'm on a 50 Mbps connection, and yes, you do get that 50 megabit speed. Download and upload both are 50 megabit, but again, they are able to provide this the only way they are able to provide this is due to that fiber optic line. So I would suggest that yes, BSNL here, broadband over here is also not that great. So I would suggest look at some other alternatives, because in some cities I've heard that you also have Hathway that gives high-speed connections, etc. So look at your in your locality what other ISPs are providing broadband. It's sad to see that BSNL broadband is still stuck at very low speeds. So let's move to the next question. This is by Bhavesh Khosla. He is asking me, will I review the Nokia Lumia 930? As of now, I have no idea if I will be reviewing it. The problem with the Windows Phone devices is that, guys, out of, let's say, 100 people asking me for a review for Windows Phone, less than 2-3% people just ask me. So it's not I have to buy these devices, and it simply does not work out. And I would rather invest my time and money on a device which a lot of other people are asking for. So that is the reason that generally yes, I do review Windows phones, but not all of them. So I hope that answers your question. This is by Mr. J. Sanket, and again he has three questions. First question he says is, will the dual-core processor in Moto X show its limitations in heavy multitasking when compared to the likes of Nexus 4? I would not suggest the Nexus 4 to you, because the Nexus 4 has severe heating issues. Yes, the Moto X at times, I would say in very heavy multitasking, I saw a little bit of lag here and there, but for the most part, it's a very lag-free phone. Definitely don't consider the Nexus 4 or for the Nexus 5. It's a much better handset. Second, he says that please review the camera, battery life, and heating problem. Moto X when it gets to 4. Sorry, Sanket, I don't have the Moto X with me, so I won't be making any more videos on it. Third question is, does the Mi 3 he says has a better camera than the Moto X and the Nexus 5? Also compare the screen quality of the Mi 3 and the Moto X. Yes, the Mi 3 definitely has a better camera compared to the Nexus 5 as well as the Moto X. But in very low lighting conditions, I would say the Moto X camera takes better pictures in very low lighting conditions. But apart from that, definitely the camera on this Mi 3 is much better compared to the Nexus 5 and even the Moto X. Screen quality of this Mi 3 is actually very good. It's a very vibrant screen and very good quality screen, I would say. See, the viewing angles are also very nice. So no issues regarding the screen on this Mi 3. And I have been using this phone now as my primary phone because my LG G3 broke. So it's almost more than 2 weeks since I'm using this device. And to be frank, I did not have any major issues till now with this device. So let me move to the next question. Vijay Raghavan, will the Mi 3 get Android L update? I don't know if it will get. Only the Xiaomi can answer that. So direct that question to them. And he says, is the Mi 3 a good phone at that price? It's an awesome deal. That is the reason it is getting sold out within seconds. It's an awesome. Even I would say this is priced in India at what, 14,000. Even if they would have priced it at 20,000 rupees, it would have been sold out like this, because even if you try to spend 25,000-26,000, you do not get this kind of performance from any other device. The nearest device I would say that gets this kind of performance is the Nexus 5, which is almost twice the cost of this. And this device has better battery life and better camera compared to the Nexus 5. So it's an awesome deal, I would say. This is by Purva. Hi Ranjit, he says, you recently said that you regret buying the LG G3 as I migrated from the HTC One M8. Do you still believe the same, as I wanted to get an LG G3 after selling my HTC One M8? I heard that 32 GB is less laggy than the 16 GB version. Your thoughts, please. I had both the version. The 32 gig version was not mine. It was Faisal Communication just loaned me for a day because I wanted to test it. I purchased the 16 GB version. Sadly, my 16 GB version broke. Some problem with the SIM tray, whatever rubbish. But apart from that, regarding lagginess, both the 32 GB version and the 16 GB version have a noticeable lag. Yes, many people will not notice it, but as you are coming from the HTC One M8, the HTC One M8 is one of the most fluid Android device I have tested. And you will definitely get annoyed with the small amount of lag that you see on the LG G3. It's not like always, but sometimes when you press the home screen, after a second it reacts. And also when moving between transitions, you see a lag. In fact, I would say this Mi 3 is a much more fluid device compared to the LG G3. I don't know if LG can solve that, but so that's to be seen. But definitely, what do you say? In terms of camera, the LG G3 has a much better camera compared to the HTC One M8. And the main reason I gave up on HTC One M8 was due to the camera, because what I do is I generally have the phone with me myself when I'm just get a new product, or I see something, I just take it from my phone and just tweet that or whatever, post it. And the image quality that I was getting with the HTC One M8 was not that great. That's the only reason I migrated to the LG G3. I hope that info helps. Rahul Krishna, he says, good evening, Ranjit. Suggest me a good, one second, the question just, he says that suggest me a good power bank under ₹1,000. Any idea when will this Xiaomi power bank launch? Just wait for this, Xiaomi is going to launch that 10,000 mAh power bank, and I would say that will be a very good option. I use, for example, this Danboard what do you say, Chiro power bank. This is also a 10,000 milliampere one, and I'm pretty satisfied with this product. But the problem with this product is that it's not directly sold in India, hence it's pretty expensive. I think so it's almost about 3,500 to 4,000 rupees. So definitely I would say wait for that Xiaomi to launch their power banks, and if I'm able to purchase them when it's launched, I'll definitely do a review on them. I feel of the value that they are offering just for under 1,000 rupees, I think so 10,000 mAh is unheard of. So let's see how it goes. This is by Siddharth. He says, how much do you prefer Windows Phone? Which is the best in processor, Snapdragon or Intel? Windows Phone is a good device, I would say. Actually, if you see my video on the Windows 8.1, it's a huge improvement, I would say. The Windows from Windows 8, and it's a good device. But personally, I think so. You're asking which one I prefer. I personally prefer Android device, because the kind of what do you say, customization that I do on my Android device is simply not possible with iOS or even Windows Phone. For example, I have active notifications, etc., and I use them heavily. So simply Windows Phone does not cut out for me. And also the biggest problem I have with Windows Phone is that many of the Google apps natively, they are not supported. And I'm a very heavy user of Google apps and use Google properties like G+, YouTube, etc. So Windows Phone just simply does not work out for me. And he says, which is better processor, Snapdragon or Intel? I would say in the mid-range, this Intel Atom processor that we are getting on mid-range devices is an excellent processor. But again, on the very high end, I would say, where we have the Snapdragon 801, etc., it is still not competing in that price factor. Intel is going to release a new Atom processor sometime later on, and I think so that might compete with the high-end Qualcomm parts. So I hope that answers your question. Let me just move. This is by Nayan. And again, everybody's asking me 3 questions today. I don't know why. Okay, let's do that. First question he asks is, Nayan, can I use the Plexer SSD for my laptop? Will it improve my performance, or should I go with the Kingston SSD? Both the Plexer SSD and the Kingston SSD are very good. And if you're moving from a standard hard drive, the performance leap will be huge. It'll be like buying a 2x faster laptop. Everything will boot faster. Every app will load a lot faster. So again, depends. I would say on Kingston, the regular ones are budget oriented, but if you want very high performance ones, you can go with the Kingston HyperX model. Those are a little bit expensive, but slightly faster. Also, make sure that your laptop does support the SATA 3 interface to get the advantage of these faster speeds. Because if your laptop simply doesn't support SATA 3, then there's no point buying a very high-end SSD, because those SSDs will be running on a SATA 2 interface that is much lower. So check that first. Second question, best phone under 10,000, good camera and performance, no heavy gaming. I would say I haven't reviewed the Zenfone 5, but I have reviewed the Zenfone 4 and I have tested the Zenfone 6. I would say as of now, the Zenfone 5 looks like a very compelling device. The only con is that battery life might not be the best. But I would say with the kind of usage, regular usage, 1 day's worth of battery life will be okay with that device. I'm trying to get review the Zenfone 5, so not sure. The problem is on Flipkart, the 8 GB of Zenfone 5 is just out of stock for the last 20 days. Third question he asks us is, how did you get all the knowledge of smartphone and gadgets? Oh, this is an interesting one. I'm 38 years old, and I've been a nerd, or geek or whatever from early on in my life. I think so. I was in 6th or 7th class when I had my first computer. Actually, my cousin's computer, and from that time I'm tinkering with stuff. I open up stuff and do that. So it started with computers, and in fact, the smartphone things is actually new. I was heavily into computer. I used to open parts, build my computers and stuff. So I do have a lot of hands-on knowledge with these things. So let me move to the next question. This is by Kamesh Kotwani. He says, sir, again, he has two questions. Okay, first one, he says, sir, I want to know what's the meaning of hybrid computer, laptop, mobile. Little confused. Hybrid computer these days, many of the vendors are saying that, for example, Asus makes some of those devices. They can act as a tablet but have a detachable keyboard. So they are dual. For example, in one mode they act like a tablet, and this, if you have that dock attached, they act like a traditional laptop. Asus is doing something like that. Even Lenovo has stuff like that, like the Lenovo Yoga, tablets and notebook hybrids. Second question he asks is, why is Microsoft not launching Surface 3 in India? Is it available to buy at eBay? I don't know, Kamesh, if it's available on ebay.in, but if it's available, you won't get any warranty. It might be an imported piece. But as of now, yes, I don't think so. Microsoft is launching the Surface 3. In fact, it didn't even launch the first version of Surface and the second version of Surface. In fact, I was actually looking to purchase the Surface 3, the basic one, the Core i3 version, because I just wanted to use it as a tablet and a light computing device where in the evening, let's say if I work on my website, that's tech2buzz.com. By the way, just visit our site tech2buzz.com. It's getting updated a lot. I wanted a device like that because with a tablet, yes, it's good for consuming stuff, but when I want to edit stuff or something, I have to pick up my tablet. So I was also looking forward for the Surface 3, but sadly it's not available in India, and I have no idea if Microsoft India is planning to launch it in India. This is by Anshul Mittal. Are there any wireless headsets available in the market that can be attached to a TV to watch TV at night? Yes, there are actually a lot of cheap ones, radio RF ones, which you can just connect to your, if your TV has a headphone jack, you just connect into that, and then they'll transfer the audio wirelessly, and you can hear them. Generally, they have a range of 20-25 feet. And I've seen a lot of local vendors also making. For example, we had Eyeball, etc. But again, premium ones are also available from other brands. So check them out. It's a fairly common thing. It's nothing new. Let me just move to. This is by this is by Akesh Yadav. He says, I was going to buy a Desire 816 and now the Xperia Z is selling for rupees 24,000 with KitKat update. So which is the best buy now? And I would say that hold the Xperia Z, go to a shop, handle both the devices. Personally, I don't like the Xperia Z because the screen on that device is not that good. The viewing angles are kind of horrible. If you just tilt it a little bit, it just fades away. Also, the Xperia Z had major heating issues. So if you play a lot of games, etc., it heats up like crazy. So decide what you want. The Desire 816 is slightly larger device compared to the Xperia Z. But again, if you are looking for a waterproof phone, that is a high priority, then definitely the Xperia Z is a good choice. Let me just give me a second, guys. This is by Srijin Das. He says, I like to see your videos very much. Thank you. He says, suggest me the best gaming tablet and a gaming mobile. Price is not an issue. I would say overall, till now, on Android phones, the best gaming experience I had was with the HTC One M8. It's a very powerful phone, but why I would suggest that is that due to that dual speakers that the HTC One M8 has, gaming was a very immersive experience, and also as it has that metal backing, it did not heat up that much. So definitely I would say I had very good experience with gaming on the HTC One M8. Tablet on gaming, I would say that go with the iPad Air, but again wait for tablet because the new versions of iPad are probably going to launch by next month. So let me move to the next question. This is by Manoj. He says, I want to buy a Lumia 630. Please suggest me how is this phone. Overall performance, gaming, and camera. The camera on the Lumia 630 is average. It does not have a LED flash over there. But outdoors, it does a decent job. And overall, it's a very nice phone. In fact, just check out my video review. I've already reviewed this Lumia 630 about 45 days ago. So just search on my channel for Lumia 630 review. You can get all the details. This is by Rahul. There are rumors that OnePlus One may come to India market. Should I wait for OnePlus One or buy the Mi3? What are your thoughts? Yes, we had rumors, and in fact, there was one blog post by OnePlus one of their staff members, and they showed that they are interested in coming to India, but they also clearly did not specify any date and said that coming to India might be a challenge. So only OnePlus One knows when they are going to come in India and what time. And also the biggest problem with the OnePlus One and even this Mi3 is the availability. Even the problem with the OnePlus One is that right now it's available in 8 odd countries or so. And even in those countries where it's available, you just can't buy it. They have that stupid invite system. So you have to have that stupid privilege of getting that invite, and then only you can buy it. And also to get that invite, it's not easy. Again, that is the problem even with this Mi3. As we have seen from that sale, they had 3 sales, but those got sold out in what 3-4 seconds or whatever. Just today I heard that today was the sale for the Mi3 on Flipkart. It got sold out in 3 seconds. It's a stupidity and insaneness, I would say. So let me move to the next one. This is by this is by Amrit Sinha. He says, hello Ranjit, you're doing a great job. Thank you. My question to you is, which is the best smartphone in the market in the rupees 15,000 bracket? Out of the Moto G and Mi3, which one would you recommend? Definitely no other phone in the market can even come close to this Mi3 as of now. For 14,000, you are getting an awesome deal. I was just worried about the camera, but the 13 megapixel camera on this Mi3 also performs brilliantly. And I would say even phones that cost almost twice the amount do not have such a good camera. Also, the performance of the Mi3 was very good. And so there is no other phone in the market that can come close to the Mi3 for that 15,000 rupees. Hence, you are seeing that this Mi3 is just getting sold out on Flipkart. And I've heard that a lot of people are selling these phones in the black market and offline market for 18,000, 20,000, and still people are buying it. So let me move to the next question. This is by Anshul Mithil. Is 3D HDMI cable different from standard HDMI cable? If no, what do these companies sell by mentioning exclusivity? There is a HDMI standard. I think so. I don't recall it on top of my head, but HDMI compliant 1.3, what do you say, HDMI cables will support 3D. But not 4K. I'm not sure. There is a new standard coming out for HDMI. So yes, if you have to make sure that the cable supplies, and also some of the HDMI cables have ACR return channel also. Not every one of them has that. So if your device supports, and even the HDMI standard 1.4 is out. So I've noticed that the HDMI cables that support the HDMI standard 1.4 are a little bit expensive compared to the cables that rely on the 1.3 standard, because the 1.3 standard almost all the cables support that. I hope that info helps. This is by Tech Geek Urban. He says, "Hi sir, joining this event for the first time live. Great. I'm a tech reviewer inspired by you. I have a simple question: how to contact companies to get review demo units for review? Expecting a reply." Tech Geek Urban, I don't have that question, because I would say 95% of the device that you see on my channel, I buy them. Some of the companies directly contacted me in the last 6 months. Some of them have contacted me, but still I would say 90% of the products I do purchase myself. I used to write to these companies earlier, but I didn't get favorable replies, so I just stopped writing to them. Hell with them, I told. So I don't know how do you get it. I'm not that lucky in getting free units or review units. Yes, some companies send me, but still 90% of the devices I get on my own. I hope that info helps. That is the reason I get a lot of requests to review this device, that device, X device. I simply can't do it because budget is a constraint. This is by Abdul. He says he loves my video. Thank you, Abdul. He says, what is your daily driver right now? Actually, my daily driver right now is this Mi 3, because my LG G3 is broke. But the LG G3 might be my daily driver. It's gone for repairs. I should get it back in 2-3 days. So let me just move to the next question. And it's already 35 minutes, guys. I'll try to take a few more questions. This is by this is by Nandita Gupta. It goes, I like your videos, thank you. I'm confused between the HTC Desire 816 and the Xiaomi Mi 3, which is a better buy? In terms of raw functionality, I would say price to performance ratio, the Mi 3 goes ahead. But definitely even the HTC Desire 816 is a nice device. It has a larger screen. So if you're looking for a phablet kind of a device, go with the Desire 816. But if you have looking on a tight budget, then definitely the Mi 3 is a better. And in fact, in raw performance, the Mi 3 is a faster device compared to the Desire 816. This is by Mr. Suvajit Chakraborty. Very interesting question, and it goes, hello Ranjit, kudos to your efforts on reviewing the latest phone. It helps a lot. Thanks for watching those videos. He says, my question is, we see a trend of mobiles with high-end features with a medium to low pricing range, like the Mi 3, Asus, Zenfone, Motorola, Alcatel, etc. Do you see the premium brands like Samsung, Sony, HTC, LG will eventually start moving to the same direction, that is high-end features with competitive pricing? I think so. They would have to do it, otherwise the market would erode. It's not like 3-4 years ago where people do not do a lot of research. These days people are doing a lot of research before buying a device. And if I can get a device that costs just 20,000, offering me the same features and the same performance, whereas let's say some XYZ premium company is selling the same device, almost the same device at 40,000, why should I buy it? In fact, that's what I said. The value that this Mi 3 is offering is incredible. I would have to say that I have to buy a device from a tier 1 brand that will cost almost 35,000 to get this kind of a performance. So there is a huge gap, and definitely these companies will have to look into it. Otherwise, they will lose sales like crazy. And this year, I see a big change, and let's hope what do you say, Samsung, HTC, LG, and all these look at the ground reality, what is happening. So let's move to the next question. This is by Mudassir. He says, how do you change your primary phone without any issue? I mean, your messages, contact, bookmarks, chat history, etc. How do you manage backup and restore? Please answer this question. Yes, I do change the phones very frequently. Every couple of months, every month almost, I change the phone unless I really liked it. For example, the HTC One M8, I really liked it, used it for 3 months. The thing is that yes, I use Google account as my primary account, so all my, what do you say, contacts automatically get synced to Google server, and also my emails are there, so I don't have to worry about my contacts and email. Yes, but I'm not too much worried about the SMS etc that I get, and the, what do you say, WhatsApp history or whatever, so I just wipe away. The only important things for me is my contacts, what do you say, my contacts and my emails, and that just when I enter my what do you say, Gmail details on a new device, it automatically gets downloaded. Also, you can enable Google backup on the prior device, and when you install what do you say, not install, when you use a new device, all the apps that we're using on the old phone will also get downloaded if you want that. So it's a very seamless experience to me, for me, but I'm not too much worried about SMS and my, what do you say, chat history etc. So I hope that info helps. So it's already 40 minutes, guys. I'm still getting the questions continuously. Thank you for that. But simply it's not possible for me to take it again. And do remember that I'll be doing this again at again next week at 7 p.m. That is on Tuesday India time. And I hope that you'll be able to join me. Thank you. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.